IQ. He understands the sport. He looks at it in a mental sense. He knows what he needs to do.
Right. Crawford gonna have to stay consistent and win out. Gonna have to get ahead and stay ahead. You know what I mean? And then also looming is the controversy. Can Crawford win a close decision? I could never win a close decision.
Crawford has the same, but I just feel that Crawford's ring eye coordination is better and he has more fire in the body left. He wants it more, in my opinion.
Lennox Lewis breaks down why Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez, stressing that the fight is more mental than physical. He explains that Crawford's high boxing IQ, sharp movement, and adaptability give him the edge. According to Lewis, size won't decide the outcome because Crawford's tactical approach and intelligence allow him to neutralize bigger opponents effectively. That's why he believes Crawford can outsmart and outfight Canelo.
He's got incredible talent, incredible IQ. He understands the sport. He looks at it in a mental sense. He knows what he needs to do to stay at the top and be at the top. He moves very well. He's a very elusive mover, and his work rate is high.
I won't ask you who's going to win the fight because I know it's a question you've probably been asked a million times, but I will ask you, do you think this fight goes the distance or do you think this fight ends inside the distance?
Interesting. Really an interesting fight to look at.
To Coach Bernie's assessment highlights what makes Terence Crawford such a unique and dangerous opponent. To him, Crawford isn't just a sharp puncher. He's a fighter whose precision and timing turn his strikes into punishing blows. Bernie argues that Canelo, despite his legendary resume, hasn't faced someone with Crawford's rare combination of hand speed, accuracy, and natural punching power. When Bernie says Crawford's hands are like bricks.
A fight is always highly anticipated and one this magnitude, you know what I'm saying? I think Canelo is hyped too because, they know that Bud brings a different element. And the guys that he's been fighting is now superstars. Bud is a superstar. It's a mega fight. It's an underdog fight, and like I said, I'm sure they anticipate, he has trouble with movers and slick boxers and stuff like that. So they're trying to see how he deals with that, Bud fans is, understandable. Canelo got the power, he got the experience, and, he's one of the faces of boxing. And so, it just breeds anticipation, want to see somebody do something great. And I think that's what everybody mostly counting on. It's a lot of hate, though. A lot of people want to see us lose, and the real ones want to see us win. You know what I mean? But, all in all,
This matchup has created enormous anticipation among fans. The boxing community is buzzing, eager to see how Canelo, who has built his career on strength and counterpunching, handles a fighter like Crawford. Elusive, unpredictable, and technically brilliant. Crawford's movement and agility make him a puzzle. Unlike many of Canelo's past opponents, Crawford won't stand still or wait to be countered. This fight is as much about contrasting styles as it is about reputations. And for the first time in years, fans feel Canelo is facing an opponent.
Well, Bud Crawford just hits hard anyway. He got fucking bricks for hands. You know what I mean? He got baseball mitts. His hands is big as a baseball mitt. So, then he's a sharp puncher. So you got to understand that Canelo hasn't fought a sharp puncher. Them guys wasn't sharp punchers. Magia, Berlanga, the guys, they not sharp punchers. You know what I'm saying? So when you got it's a difference with the speed and the velocity that they're coming with. You know what I mean? If you can understand that. The quickness of the punches, the sharpness of the punches. These guys, you can see all their punches coming. You ain't gonna be able to see all Bud punches coming. You ain't gonna be able to see his punches coming, for real.
They have like one common opponent, Amir Khan?
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you think the difference is? Obviously, you've seen a highlight reel with with Canelo.
Amir Khan, who has fought both men, offers a unique perspective. While he respects Canelo's skills, Khan believes Crawford simply wants the fight more. He argues that Crawford's hunger and determination could prove decisive. Khan also points out that Crawford is still fresher, sharper, and hungrier compared to Canelo, whose long years at the elite level have taken a toll. For Khan, it isn't just about skills, it's about who is willing to sacrifice everything to win. And right now, that fighter is Crawford.
Great timing, great feints, moves well, whereas Crawford has the same, but I just feel like Crawford's ring eye coordination is better and he has more fire in the body left. He wants it more, in my opinion. Whereas Canelo, in that last fight against the Cuban guy he fought, he just seems to me that that fire has just gone. Like, he was just getting the win and moving around and enjoying himself, which he can do, because at the end of the day, the guy, he's already cemented his legacy, so he can do that. So yeah, I got Crawford winning that fight.
And when you sparred him, when you were in the same camp with Bomac, what was it like? You have any good stories about sparring him since you were an opponent?
See, when I fought him as a fight, I didn't know what to expect. But then obviously, when I sparred with him, I would try different things to really how would I be able to beat a guy like him? And I was working on different things, and the guy is very tricky. He's a guy that always keeps on adapting your style and also keep getting better and better as the fight goes on. So yeah, he's a very, very good fighter. I do like him because he came to my camp 2-3 times, drove up to spend like 2-3 weeks with me. Well, just give me some advice and be there with me and win with me and train with me. And so yeah, that's why like them little things go a long way for me, and that's why I'll always support him and push him.
Trainer Stephen Bredman Edwards provides a reality check. He explains that decision to spar Jaron Ennis, another dangerous and versatile fighter, is smart but mostly symbolic. Sparring, Edwards notes, isn't the same as a real fight for testing strategies, gaining experience, or sending a message. Canelo's sparring might show fans that he's preparing for Crawford's style. But Edwards insists it doesn't replicate the intensity and unpredictability of a championship night. Crawford's unique skill set can't be reduced to a sparring simulation.
Charm and don't do nothing in camp and then go look like $1 million in the fight. That's why fighters spend the kind of money they spend on sparring partners, because getting the look or simulating the intensity of how a fight is going to be is how you prepare for a fight. And the most important part of camp is sparring. So it didn't make me say that Canelo was going to win the fight, but it did make me say, damn, he's taking this fight serious, and that's a real good look. I respect the fact that he went out and got the best possible sparring he could find for Crawford to win this fight. I even respect when he did it, because if he would have got Boots early in camp, Boots would have probably beat his butt. You know what I mean? When you first come to camp and you're not sharp. So he got him a few weeks in the camp where maybe, what's how many weeks left for the fight? About 3 weeks left for the fight. This usually your peak time. So he got him about 3 weeks left in the camp so he can handle the work. Because again, you've been up to Philly and you've seen the work. Boots don't have bad days in the gym. He stays in the gym all the time. Yeah. So like you could just get him off the streets and he'll go 10 or 12 rounds in the gym. He don't have bad days. I'm not just bragging. I'm not bragging about a kid that I don't train or he's not my son. I'm just telling the truth. Like, I haven't seen him have like an off day in the gym in like 10 years. You know how sometimes a guy don't look good and you be like, oh, okay, he not doing his best. He really don't have them days. You know what I mean?
And the crazy part about it is he does more than 3-minute rounds and he never sits down. Like, never.
The symbolism of sparring Ennis is significant. Like Crawford, Ennis is fast, versatile, and capable of switching stances. By sharing the ring with Ennis, Canelo hoped to mimic Crawford's rhythm and unpredictability. But analysts argue no sparring partner can replicate Crawford's real timing, adaptability, and unique rhythm. While the experience might give Canelo confidence and show fans he's taking the challenge seriously, it's unlikely to provide a winning formula.
Moves, as Canelo's maybe not had as much experience with that since moving to 168. Usually he's the smaller guy fighting some of the bigger guys, but that's not all this is. This is a message that Canelo is looking to replicate exactly what Terence Crawford has in his arsenal, has in his tool set, because everybody has wanted to see the Boots Ennis versus Terence Crawford fight because it's a stylistic matchup that is very interesting. Both guys fight out of both stances. That's right. Boots will fight out of southpaw and orthodox. Both guys are very good using their defense to create offense. Boots, one of the best at Philly shelling, catch countering, being able to do it out of both stances, has a beautiful check hook out of southpaw. As orthodox fighters throw their left hook, he comes over the top with his. And why would Canelo be looking for someone that could throw a beautiful lead hook and a backhand as a counter punch, rolling with their defense back to their offense? Oh wait, because that's what Terence Bud Crawford does so well. Boots is explosive. He's got great counter punch timing. He's got good awareness. His feet are good. He can walk you onto punches. He can lead the dance going first, not just looking for his counter punches, but underrated, I think, in his aggression to lead the exchanges. This is a perfect get for Canelo. And I'm not even trying to play the one side or the other. Canelo fans, Crawford fans, you're going to think whatever you want to think. But the reality is, getting this kind of sparring is a massive deal for Canelo. It's going to give him probably the best look you could get for Terence Bud Crawford outside of sparring Terence Bud Crawford. I can't understate how important even just a couple of days working with Jaron Boots Ennis is going to be for Canelo, just to see a bit of the tempo, a bit of that switching of stance, because let's be honest, there's not many guys that Canelo has fought that have fought out of both stances and done it as fluidly as Boots Ennis or as Bud Crawford will do in their fight.
Another concern for Canelo is the noticeable decline in his speed and movement. Now in his 30s, observers note he's slower on his feet, which could be a major vulnerability against someone as agile as Crawford. Canelo's strengths have always been timing, counterpunching, and cutting off the ring. But questions about stamina and mobility are growing louder. If he can't keep up with Crawford's constant angles and fluid movement, he may find himself chasing a target he can't catch. This creates a serious tactical problem Canelo can't